Moon River is a 2 to 4 player game for ages 8 and up with an average gameplay length of 45 minutes, published by Blue Orange. The basic overview of Moon River has players taking turns collecting plots to later make into dominoes to expand your ranch. Collect cows and expand your territories to maximize your points. And for additional points, gather resources and partner tokens to protect your cows and/or steal from your opponents. Once the box is empty of tiles, the game ends and the player with the most points wins. To set up the game, each player will take a ranchero meeple and reservation board with the matching camp color. Be sure to play with the compass side up. Next, remove all the tiles from the box. Shuffle them, number side up, and then randomly return them to the box. Place the box in the middle of the table. Near the box, place all cow meeples. Then place the saloon near the box. Shuffle together the partner tokens and place 5 random partners on the saloon spaces face up. Create 2 stacks with cowboy side up with the remaining partners and place them here on the saloon tile. Next, draw 4 tiles from the box and place them number side up. Then put them in a column with the smallest number closest to the box and the largest number furthest from the box. If any match in numbers, you can place them in any order. Then flip them up, revealing their landscape sides. And finally, one player will collect all the ranchero meeples from the players, shuffle them in their hand, and select them one at a time at random to determine the first round's turn order. In order drawn, the players will place their meeple on or next to the desired tile they wish to collect. This action is mandatory. In a 3-player game, the remaining tile will be removed from the game, and in a 4-player game, the last player must always take the final tile. Once all tiles have been selected, 4 new tiles will be drawn from the box, again number side up, in ascending order, moving away from the box. Then flip the landscape side up, and the player closest to the box will go first. They will collect the tile they are on, then they will place it on their reservation board. The next optional action will be to expand their ranch, which we will go over in a minute. And finally, your last mandatory action will be to select a new plot from the 4 drawn and place your meeple on or next to the one you desire. Each player starting from the box down will take the same actions in order until all of the original tiles have been collected and all the new tiles have been selected. Draw 4 new tiles from the box and again align them in ascending order, moving away from the box. And again, starting with the player closest to the box, they will take their 3 actions. Collect the plot they are on, which is mandatory. Expand their ranch, which is optional. And select a new plot, which is mandatory, before passing to the next player. Now that we understand how each player's turn works, let's go over how to expand your ranch. Each player will be building a 5x5 grid with your plot tiles. Before you can place a plot, you must make a domino. To make a domino, you will connect any 2 plots together. There are a few rules when placing a domino. You must place your first domino against one of the bridges to start. Once you have a domino on the board, you can either place any type of domino against a different bridge, or place a domino next to an already existing domino. However, to do this, you must have at least 1 tile that matches the domino you are placing it against, and those matching tiles must touch each other. This is a legal move, and this would be considered an illegal move. All placed dominoes must be within the 5x5 grid, and once a tile is placed, it cannot be moved. If at any time you possess 4 plots, you must create a domino and place it. If you cannot place it based on the rules, then you must discard both tiles, and your ranch will have less plots in the end. When you successfully place a domino, you must check for plot actions. The 3 plot actions / symbols are cow, skull, and circle. They must be taken in that same order every time: cow, skull, circle. When a cow symbol, you will collect the number of cows equal to the number of cow symbols on the domino you just placed and put them on that plot. Next, you will check for any skulls on the domino or dominoes you just placed. Look at the entire territory of the plot that matches and is touching the skull plot. If there are any cows, remove one from the territory and return it to the supply. If multiple skulls, you must remove one cow for each skull you are placing. If there are no cows in the territory, just ignore the skull. Skulls only affect a territory when placing the domino that has it and are ignored for the rest of the game. And the circles allow you to recruit a partner to manage your ranch. You will choose one of the 5 partner tokens in the saloon. You can keep it on its specialist side or flip it to its cowboy side and place it on the circle. All partners will act as cattle thief guards. That means that all cows in the same territory of your partner are protected. The 3 most common are the gold digger, which gives you an extra point for every gold in your ranch at the end of the game, the trapper, that gives you an extra point for every beaver at the end of the game, and the farmer, that gives you an extra point for every corn at the end of the game. The other 2 are the desperado and cattle thief. The desperado lets you swap a plot on your reservation board with another player. Once you place this partner, you must activate it, and in order to activate it, both players must have plots on their reservation board in order to swap. If they do not, place the partner, but ignore its ability. The cattle thief lets you take a cow from another player's ranch that is not protected by a partner. Any territory that has at least one partner is considered protected, no matter the amount of cows in that specific territory. And lastly, if you choose to use the cowboy side of any partner token, you have the ability to move a cow 3 spaces, or move multiple cows for a total of 3 moves orthogonally. You will want to do this because at the end of the game, only 1 cow is allowed per plot. However, when moving cows, they are not allowed to cross over or stop in cornfields. And that covers how to place dominoes and the effects the plot tiles may have. These tiles will also have gold, corn, and beavers, but these only matter in endgame scoring and are worth 1 point for every icon. Speaking of endgame scoring, once all tiles from the box have been used or discarded in a 3-player game, the game will end. Any players with plots on their reservation board will have the chance to place remaining dominoes. If you can place them legally, you must place them in your ranch. If you cannot do so legally, they will be discarded and you will have an incomplete ranch. Now, before we score, the overpopulation event occurs, which means each plot can only have 1 cow on it. The plots with additional cows must discard the extra cows so only 1 cow remains on the plot. After all extra cows have been removed from the board, move on to scoring. We will start with the territory points. To score, you will count the number of connected matching territory plots and multiply that number by the number of cows in that connected territory. Do this for the desert, canyon, meadow, forest, and farm territories. And if you have multiple groups of the same territory, score them separately before adding the total together on your score sheet. Cornfields will not be scored here since cows are not allowed in the fields. Next, we will score resources. Add together every gold symbol, beaver symbol, and corn symbol on your ranch. Each one is worth 1 point, and write the number of each next to its icon on the score sheet. Next, score partners. If any, each partner gives you 1 point for whatever resource they have displayed. And if you have multiples of any partner, score them each individually. For example, I have 1 farmer, so I will score 1 point for each corn and write that here. But I have 2 gold diggers, so each gold will score 2 points, which I will write here. If I had a trapper, I would score beavers again, but since I do not have a trapper, I will not score any additional points for them. Desperados and cattle thieves do not score you any points at the end of the game. This last section here is for the advanced game, and we will ignore that for this playthrough. Finally, add up all your points, and the player with the most points wins. And that is how you play Moon River. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell to get notified about new videos. If you're bored now, click this for more games.